Hello, my friends. Just doing a quick update. I've been thinking today, so I thought I might go and just speak a bit about some things that are on my mind. But also, new earring. This one was bought for me by Emma. It was a birthday present, so I've been waiting for my ears to heal so I could actually wear this. And I also stole one of Jen's flower crowns because why the fuck not? I've also got a new desk and I'm in the corner now, so it's a bit tight. I'm in like a little alcove and it kind of fits in sideways. Not the best fit, but that's because I'm fat. Um, so as I'm lose weight, that will that. But yeah, losing weight sort of brings me on to what I was thinking about because I like to describe myself as a podcaster. Like I do other stuff. Like my day job is tech support, but I really want to make a go of this podcasting thing, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really good for my mental health. The only problem is for a there's a certain type of guy. I know, obviously, I identify as they, them, but there is a certain type of guy, cis guy, who looks a lot like me and does podcasts. And I don't want to be associated with those type of people. It's like people of nerds of a certain age might remember that there used to be back when the whole Gamergate thing kicked off, and well, even before then, and like for a while after then as well, there's a real sort of negative connotation to referring yourself as a gamer. It's like, oh, I'm a gamer, and it's like, yeah, but the people who are gamers are by and were the ones who define their personality as gamer were by and large absolute dicks and assholes, and you don't want to be one of those. You don't want to be lumped in with those type of people. In the same way that when most of the famous podcasters who look like me, who are white guys, big guys usually. I'm a big guy. Tall guy as well. I'm 6'3", and I weigh. I got myself weighed recently. I'm 177 kilos, which works out to 390 pounds, which is a lot. But yes, I've got a bit of a belly, but most of the rest of me is in proportion. But it's like I don't like being lumped in with those type of people, and it also came to my mind as well because I went to the gym last night. I've joined the gym. I'm trying to get healthier. I'm trying to look after myself a bit more, and I went to the gym deliberately in my sparkly pink top because I didn't want to present too male in the gym because of course there's an attitude of a guy in a gym, and it's like I don't want to be part of it's the gender dysphoria. Like I don't want to be seen as a guy, because that's not what I feel. I don't want to feel like one of the guys, one of the blokes. So there's that aspect, but also like I don't want to fit the negative connotations that go along with the guy in the gym, or the guy who does a podcast. That's not what I want to be. And so it makes me nervous to do these things or to describe myself as these things and say, yeah, I go to the gym and I'm trying to get healthy. I'm trying to, get some exercise and look after myself. But also, to say, oh, I run a podcast. I've got all these episodes. And, because I don't talk about politics or stuff on my podcast. Or if I do, it's from a very leftist perspective because I'm a huge fucking socialist. So yeah, I don't know how. I'm just kind of in my head about it because it's like I don't want to be, like I said, I don't want to be lumped in with those kind of people. You say you do a podcast. You're a white guy who does a podcast, and unless people know you, unless you make it obvious that you're not cis het, people assume, oh, cis het white guy with a podcast. Oh, bet he's racist, bet he's homophobic, bet he's transphobic, bet he's ranting about women's rights, bet he's talking about the wokeness and things, because that's it. The whole genre of like podcast bro that you get, and they're in the fandoms. there's been a whole load at the minute in the Warhammer fandom, which obviously I'm a part of, especially on Twitter, and there's a list going around of like the woke content creators, and it's like all the ones who are anti woke are just podcast bros. They just sit in front of a camera and record themselves talking and ranting about whatever changes have been made to the setting. And meanwhile, the ones that are actually making quality content are, you know, doing video essays and law discussions and everything like that. They're described as woke. You know, and I'm woke. I don't make much Warhammer content, but I'm woke. I don't want to be associated with the podcast douchebags. I want to be, you know, while my work isn't anywhere near on their level, I don't want to be associated with the dicks. I want to be over in the good side. You know, the woke. I want to be with the woke people. They're cool. They're the ones I follow. You know, they're the ones I talk to because they're awesome. And I think if you're a geek, if you've been in geek circles, this is something you can deal with quite a lot. Like, there is very much a negative stereotype of a geek that you kind of have to deal with. And, you know, the perception, the group cultural perception of what a Trekkie is, for example, what a Star Wars fan is, what a comic book fan is, what a D&D player is. And it's like, we know, and you know, it is changing because these things are way more popular than they've ever been in a lot of cases. But there is definitely a perception of a certain type of person who enjoys those things. And that certain type of person, you know, if you say you are a fan of those things, that's what people think. You know, people think, you know, say, oh, I like Star Trek. Oh, you live in your mother's basement, you don't have a partner. You know, that sort of view. Oh, I collect comic books. Oh, you put them in a mile bag and never read them, and you're really obsessed with minutia and you hate women. You know, that's the sort of thing that's in people's heads. You know, and a lot of you know, one of the big examples that kind of reinforced a lot of this without necessarily meaning to was the Big Bang Theory, but that's a whole different rant. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the Big Bang Theory and what it did for geeks. So yeah, that's my rant, and I don't have an answer. You know, like I said, I like making my podcast. It does wonders for my mental health to make my podcast. Also can negatively affect my mental health when it's like, I want to do this and I feel like I'm behind. You know, I'm going through a lot of that right now, as a matter of fact, and I'm losing my mind a little bit. But I don't want to stop. And, you know, maybe I should collaborate with people and do more collaborations. Maybe I should do a video podcast. But then it's like, that feels like it's even more leaning towards that type of douche bro, and that's not what I want. I like my audio podcast. I like how I'm doing it on YouTube at the minute, and I don't want to change. But I also wonder if maybe, you know, the competition out there is so vast, and it seems like you can't get anywhere without being awful. Like, the whole sort of the white rage, you know, the white male rage, as Saturday Night Live put it. It's like, that's what sells, that's what generates clicks. But I don't want to be that person. I never want to be that person. Even in the podcast where I've been critical of things, I'm trying not to just come at a place of, oh, this sucks, this is awful. You know, I want to go, I didn't like this that much, and here's why, you know? And that's better, I think. This keeps slipping because I've got no actual hair to hold it onto. But yeah, is there an answer? I don't know. But I just wanted to sort of put these thoughts together. And yeah. That said, if you've made it all the way to the end of this and you would like a nerdy, left-leaning, queer, ADHD podcast of me just like autistically info dumping stuff at you, that you could just have on in the background, I would love to have you. All the links are in the thing, wherever it is, wherever you're watching this. So come have a look.